Hi folks, and welcome back to Business Strategy 101. Now, in this first video, I want to make a very important distinction between the concept of strategy and the notion of business strategy. You say, why do we need to do that? Because understanding the difference between these two concepts is fundamental in order to understand how competition works in business. Okay then, let's get cracking with the first concept. What is strategy? Now, if you are a diligent student, you probably will get out your laptop and type in Google the origin of strategy. And Wikipedia will come up and will tell you that strategy comes from strategos, from the Greeks. That basically is the general commander-in-chief that is preparing a plan of sending out the troops in order to win the war. But if you look carefully, even before the Greeks, there was the Chinese understanding of strategy that basically was, again, the job of the commander, preparing the troops for a war. So basically, looking at the historical understanding of strategy, we find the strategy is associated with war. But now, if I ask you a question, give me an example of how you think about strategy in your daily life. And probably many people will say, well, when I think about strategy, I think about a match. So, for example, I am a football supporter and I support AC Milan instead of another team. And AC Milan is implementing a strategy of having certain players playing in certain position. And by following the strategy, they are able to win. Another example could be, well, I see a lot of debate on politics. And I think that each of the politicians have a strategy. So they are playing this strategy game. So, basically, to wrap up this first session, you can see that both the origin of the word strategy, but also the way that we experience strategy in our daily life is always characterized by a zero-sum game. Well, what is that? It means that in order to win, one of the side need to destroy or outrun the other side. In a war, one nation needs to win and the other nation needs to lose. In a football team, a team needs to win and the other one needs to lose. Okay, can have a draw, but most of the time one of the two parties wins. And politician, if you take the election to be the first minister, you can have only one first minister. So basically, when we think about strategy, generally speaking, in our life, we frame strategy as only one part can win. And in order to win, need to defeat the other side. Now that we have seen a little bit of the origin of the word strategy and how we experience that in our daily life, let's shift our attention on business strategy. Now, in order to do that, imagine that we have a big box and we call that strategy. And within that box, there are many small boxes. There is politics, sport, war. And one of those boxes is business strategy. Now, what differentiates business strategy from the other boxes is that competition works differently within companies. When we think about competition within companies, we have to step away from the concept that we have when we think about strategy, generally speaking. We have seen that when we have a war, you can have only one winner. In a team competition, there is only one team that can win. In business strategy, companies can compete that way, can compete by destroying each other. Say, well, I'm going to lower my price. But that is not business strategy. We speak about business strategy when companies are framing competition as a positive-sum game. Positive-sum game basically means that is a game in which multiple competitors can win at the same time. Now, if we look at that with a business lens, it means that if you take an industry, it means that you can have different companies that succeed at the same time. And that it comes a little bit as a shock. But honestly speaking, if you look at different industry, you will see that in every industry, you normally have between 3 to 5 competitors that are doing very well. And the reason why this is possible is because those competitors are producing very similar products that target different customer segments. So, for example, there is a company that produces a specific product, but that specific product aims to satisfy the need of a different customer than their competitors. In so doing, you can have different winners within the same industry. Different companies can succeed by serving the needs of different customers. Being able to frame competition in an industry as a positive-sum game where multiple competitors can win, rather than a zero-sum game where only one big competitor can win, is our first step in order to understand strategy. Actually, business strategy. I'll see you in the next video.